welcome to Jamie's Super Easy Superfoods. Today I'm going to show you how to make a green smoothie. One of the most nutritious things you can possibly have on the planet, and also one of the easiest. Little bit of background on the green smoothies. If you want to find out more, you can look up Victoria Butenko. I'll put a little bit of linkage in there for you. Very briefly, she moved with her family from Russia. They were all healthy, and then they started eating the standard American diet, and everyone got sick, diabetes, various chronic ailments. She couldn't find any solution to their problems from doctors or anything like that. And to cut a long story short, eventually she discovered making or eating raw food, number one, and number two, eating raw green smoothies, based on the fact that chimpanzees in the wild eat a load of greens and a load of fruit and some other stuff. So she thought, because their DNA is so similar to ours, and because they're so healthy, I'll have to do it myself. But it's almost impossible to eat the amount of greens that you need to eat to get the benefits from that, which is why these green smoothies came. And when you juice it, it basically digests it for you, which is why it's so easy to eat and goes so quickly into your system. So I'm going to do the basic recipe and then show you some of the optional extras should you so wish. So let's get started. First thing to put in a green smoothie is, surprise surprise, greens. So any greens will do you. Today I have greens will do. Yep. Today I've gone for lamb's lettuce, which is this lovely little green which I've washed, and some rainbow chard. So that's just going to go straight in to the Vitamix. Now then, this is your piece of equipment of choice for green smoothies. Pretty expensive, however, it lasts your lifetime, and it's a pretty serious workhorse to make this thing work. You could try your other blender, but I would recommend getting a Vitamix and just investing in it. You won't regret it. Okay, here we go. So just the greens go in there. I'm going to fill this beauty right on up. Loads of greens. I've got about 2 packets of greens here. As always, organic is the name of the day, because you won't have any pesticides and fungicides and rodenticides and nasties on there. But even if it is organic, still wash it, which I've done. The second thing we put in after the greens is a bit of fruit, otherwise it's a bit full on to get down. So I've got some pear, that's 1 pear, I've got some pineapple, and I've got some banana. Again, you can use any fruit you want, you can use any greens you want, kale, spinach, romaine lettuce, anything like that. All the greens are good, all the fruits are good, everyone's a winner. Now then, the third component is water. So I need to put some water in here. Today I'm going to use some coconut water, which is straight from this young coconut. So I'm just going to let all this coconut water run into the smoothie. You can buy these young coconuts in Whole Foods, 2 or 3 quid, and the coconut water is yummy. Okay, that's the coconut water in. Now, of course, it's fine just to use normal water, which I'm going to have to top up anyway. Fill it up about halfway in the Vitamix. A little pinch of salt. I've got some Himalayan pink salt. Pinch of salt in there. And that is your basic green smoothie, which we can buzz up, which I'm now going to do. So start it on slow. Just wait for some of the bigger chunks to fall down. Like that. And once it's all going, you can wise it up a bit more. Now you can just have your smoothie like that and blend it a lot more so it's completely smooth. However, I'm going to show you some of the extra things that I chuck in there, and I basically chuck the kitchen sink at it to really soup it up. So let's have a look at some of the things. Okay, so if you can only afford a few things, the first thing I put in is chia seeds. Talked about chia seeds on another episode. The second thing I would put in, if you can't afford everything, is spirulina. You know, a couple of tablespoons of spirulina is worth about a few kilos of greens. So if that's all you can afford, those two are going to be a fantastic supplement to your green smoothie. Right, now let's get some more stuff in there. So chlorella, another green powder, green barley grass powder, a bit of that in there, a couple of tablespoons of each probably, wheatgrass powder, and that's all the greens. Now then, what else can we add? I always add some fats, good fats of course. This is Udo's Choice oil blend. About a couple of tablespoons of that in there. I'm going to get a close up on that. And then I add coconut oil, raw virgin organic coconut oil. I would say about a couple of good tablespoons of that. That's yummy. Now if you get coconut oil on your hands, just rub it in. Rub it into your skin. It's an absolutely excellent skin cream. I put it in my hair. I use it as hair gel, coconut oil. Next thing to go in is aloe vera juice. Good little glug of that. Raw, cold pressed, organic, unfiltered apple cider vinegar. Very good for the digestion. Full of malic acid. Now then, we're moving on to some of the superfood stuff. So, this is arame seaweed, but I usually just chuck in a couple of sheets of nori, which is the kind of seaweed that you get sushi wrapped in. But very important to get the seaweeds in there, good for your thyroid. Lacuma, quite a sweet little additive to go in there. These are all feel-good things now. Acai, which you get a lot in Brazil. Chuck some of that in there. Now this little beauty, this will really stoke up your system. Maca. Get some of that in there. Probably about a tablespoon or two of each one. I'm going to put some raw organic cacao powder in there. Yes, that's right, it's chocolate. Bit of that in there. Full of magnesium. Some goji berries. And go the goji berries. Scattering of them. What else have we got? Oh yes, some pea and rice protein.
Rice and peas.
I'll go in there. I think we're almost there. Now to activate the whole lot, I use this cayenne pepper. You don't need much. A little sprinkle of that because it's quite strong. And that activates all the ingredients in the green smoothie nicely. I also like to add some turmeric for its antiseptic and antifungal properties. And a nice big chunk of raw ginger, which I'm just going to cut up a bit more to make it a bit easier on the Vitamix. Right, let's get the ginger in. So everything that goes in this smoothie is raw and organic. I think that is it. Okay, so once again, we have to start slowly. And gradually increase it. Okay, before I put it on the highest zhuzh, I'm going to put some ice in there. So let's pop some ice in. Because of the high speed of the Vitamix, it tends to warm things up almost like soup. So I'm going to put the ice in there just to keep it nice and cold. Okay, here we go. Okay, done. Now, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that this looks appetizing, because it looks like pond slime. Let's be honest here. However, it actually tastes a lot better than it looks. And this will make you feel absolutely incredible. Now if you want to top it off,
quite nice actually, I like that.
If you want to top it off, a few goji berries and a scattering of cacao nibs. It's almost like more like a kind of soup really. And let's give it a go. And once you start drinking green smoothies, you always get the green smoothie smile and the nice little green blob on your nose. That is mega actually, wicked. So, drink loads of it as well. I drink 2 pints, 2.5 pints at a time. It's all part of the experience. And enjoy. See you next time. Bye!